Oh, that's right. It is evening there.
Yeah, exactly. So can you please put your camera a little down so that you will be fit in your camera?
Is that a little better?
This is fantastic. Yeah, thank you for accepting my request and accepting to talk with me.
Absolutely. I'm always happy to talk about coffee.
So I thought to introduce you to my audience and to the entire world who watches this video from anywhere on this planet. So can you please introduce yourself and about your work?
Sorry, I'm still waking up. Hmm. My name's Ken Fletcher. My wife and I own Paper Tiger Coffee Roasters in Vancouver, Washington, USA. And we do a little bit of everything from roasting coffee to making coffee.
So you own your own company.
Yes,
Awesome. So what is the name of the company?
Paper Tiger Coffee Roasters.
Why this name?
A paper tiger is something that's looks big and scary, but the more you look at it, the more you realize it's just paper. It's just a picture. When I first got my company, people thought I was a little scary at the time. I ride a motorcycle. I wear leather jacket to keep myself protected, and I looked a little rough for some of our clients, and they were worried that it was something weird. So I thought Paper Tiger was a good name to go with.
So how is your business going on right now?
It's a struggle right now. I mean, COVID and everything. We're still in lockdowns in our area. Uh, we're not allowed to have anybody in the restaurant. They can come and order their coffee, but they have to go immediately.
Okay.
So it's much slower than normal, but we're still paying the bills and surviving, and I'm taking that as a win.
When did you started this business?
We're in our 10th year now.
10th year. Okay. Before that?
Before that, I was actually a bartender.
Okay.
Serve drinks at the local bar. It's the same job. You're just waking people up instead of putting them to sleep.
So that experience made you to start your own business.
That and much more experience from years of doing things. We didn't start the business till I was in almost 40 years old. So I had a lot of other experiences to draw on from life to help with that.
So why only coffee?
Just because of our area, the Pacific Northwest in the United States drinks more coffee per person than anywhere else in the nation.
Okay.
And coffee is something I personally enjoy. And we do a little bit of other things. I mean, we do tea and we have pastries and things like that as well. But coffee is our predominant focus. And that's just based on logistics where we are. And that made good sense to go with something doing not only preparing the coffee, but roasting the coffee as well.
So I saw in the description that it is homemade coffee.
Yes.
You make it for your with your own hands.
Yes. We roast it. We do everything from start to finish. We work directly with the farms that we've made contact with over the years, and we buy direct trade from a good portion of those farms now. Some of the coffees that people want, we have to get from brokers, depending on the different rules and regulations in various countries. But we work directly with about 6 different farms right now.
So can I say that the fascination that you have on coffee made you to start this business?
Absolutely. It's a great way to just start a conversation. Sit
Correct.
down, have a cup of coffee, and begin discussing whatever the topic is.
Yeah.
We call it an icebreaker. It's a
Yeah.
way to initiate a conversation that might not happen otherwise.
Yeah.
When we do special events, trying to raise awareness for different causes that we work with, we always have hot coffee sitting there with us for free. So people will come over and they'll get that free cup of coffee, and then we can start having our conversation about whatever it is that we're working for that day.
It is not exaggeration if I say that all the businessmen in the world, most of the businessmen in the world prefer coffee.
I would say a very large portion of them drink coffee. Yes.
What actually it makes for a human to do things? How it works?
As far as businessmen do things.
Every human being.
Oh, good grief! I suppose it's just the initially it's the basic need for survival, and coffee isn't necessarily a survival need, but it does aid in staying awake and alert. It keeps the blood flowing and keeps the synapses firing, and it's gotten to the point where we can all enjoy it as a whole, as the human race. Most people can sip on a cup and say, "Oh, that's for me." There are those that don't like coffee, and that's fine too. I'll sit and have a cup of tea with someone if that's what they would prefer. But for myself, if I have the choice between a cup of tea and a cup of coffee, I'm usually going to go with the coffee.
When did you drink your first coffee in your life, and what was your feeling?
The first coffee I had, I was very young, probably 7 or 8 years old, and it was with my grandparents. And back then, here in the States, it was not good coffee. It, it was some, I believe they used Folgers for the most part, and they would put it in the freezer to keep it lasting as long as possible. And every morning, my grandma would take that out of the freezer and make her pot of coffee and put it right back in so it would stay cold and last longer. Uh, and it just tasted horrible. So I didn't drink coffee again until I was 18 and in the Army. And then I needed coffee, and Army coffee isn't good coffee either, by the way. It will get you through. It's got caffeine. It will do what you have to do, but it wasn't good. I didn't have my first good cup of coffee until I was about 30 years old. And then
Okay.
I had a latte with somebody that knew what they were doing. It was like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. What is this? And from there on, it's been a solid fascination.
So you mentioned two things here. You worked in army at the same time. Your age. What is your age, and when did you work in army?
I went in the Army right out of high school when I was 18 years old. Uh, and it didn't last long. I wound up breaking my wrist, getting a medical discharge just a short time later.
Okay.
But it was the first time that I was drinking coffee on a regular basis.
So from the beginning, you was into business.
I always tried to start my own little businesses. I had a small pressure washing company when I was younger, and I tended to be in management roles when I was in different positions with companies, always kind of being put into leadership positions, but never being able to run things the way that I thought they should be run. And so when the opportunity came to get this little company for myself, we jumped on it.
So what is the best compliment that you got for the coffee that you made till now?
I think the best compliment that we get day to day is a combination of it's consistent. It always tastes the same, which for small craft coffee shops here in the U.S. not always the case. And also the warm smile that someone gets when they take that sip
Okay.
and they go, "Oh, this is good." That's probably those two are my favorite parts. Hearing that we're staying true to what we're making and that little smile that someone gets when they taste it each day.
So you are being the reason for their positive emotion. So how can you maintain that? How can you get that emotion every day? How can you give the same taste every day?
It's dedication to what we're doing as we're making the coffee, making sure that we're sourcing the right coffee and that each year it is cared for in the same way at the farm. It's harvested in the same way and grown the same way and dried and cured the same way. And then on our end, we have to make sure that we're diligent about roasting that coffee to the exact same standards every time. We actually have a logbook that we track from the moment it goes into the roaster until the equalization of temperature stops dropping in temperature, same temperature as the machine. And then we track that all the way, and we know at say 350 degrees, it should smell like buttered toast. And then as it gets closer to that first crack, when the silver skin starts to shed, we should see that time frame be the same amount of time and the same kind of temperature range and the same aromas coming off until we get to that finish point. And then we know that, say it took 13 and a half minutes to get to the final product on the roast, all the aromas were the same along the way. And if we don't get there, that coffee doesn't go in with the batch. That becomes a separate scenario.
So you said that most of the people in your country drinks coffee, and your city is most selling city, coffee selling city.
Our whole region in Washington State, from Seattle down into Portland, Oregon, which is just on the north end of Oregon, there are more people drink more cups of coffee per day than anywhere else in the country.
Okay.
New York consumes more coffee as a whole because they have more people. There's a greater density of people. But in the Pacific Northwest, people tend to drink 2, 3, even 4 cups of coffee a day.
Can I say that climatic conditions is one of the main reason for most sites?
The climate itself?
Yeah.
I do believe that the wet climate has a little bit to do with that. It does rain here quite a bit. And I think people like having something warm and comforting in their hands to just keep them going throughout the day. For myself, I know that's a key factor.
So what are the types of coffees you sell, and what is the best selling coffee?
Our biggest seller is a Brazilian coffee that we call Chati, which is another name for an ocelot, a small tiger cat. That one we sell the most of, but we sell coffees from let's see, Ethiopia, Sumatra, El Salvador, New Guinea. Oh, good grief! Kenya, Rwanda, India. We have a little bit of Vietnamese coffee in right now. Mexico. Pretty much anywhere that we can get a good coffee from. We have farms that we work directly with all the time, but we also bring in specialty flavors as a really good crop comes in somewhere. We'll try to grab some of that particular coffee and have a little bit to offer as well.
So Vancouver, some part of the Vancouver is in Canada, right?
No, we're in the Washinton, Vancouver. It's a couple hours south of there.
Okay, so different countries. It is very
Yes.
close, but different countries.
Yes, it's about a 3-hour trip.
Okay. Okay, so coffee, Indian coffee. Can we get Indian coffee in your shop?
Not right now. I don't have any at the moment, but we do carry it throughout the year from time to time. Yes.
So when you said when you started this coffee shop?
In 2011.
2011, and up to 2021, it's running.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the specialty in your shop that nobody can find in other shops, other coffee shops?
I think. Well, I mean, we do a lot of things that nobody else does, but some of our most requested items are the special syrups that we make to add to the coffee. We make our caramel right in house, and we make a black currant syrup, which just about nobody else does. A black currant or a cassis berry. We'll boil that down, add a little bit of sugar to it to keep it stable, and then add that to the coffee. And it highlights the coffee. It doesn't just add the fruit flavor to it, but any cocoa tones that are naturally in the coffee, it really highlights those. And if you're having a latte with it, it can almost taste like a mocha, like you've added some chocolate to it with a little bit of berry instead of just the berry itself. That's one of the things virtually nobody else has.
So how many coffees have you drink in your life?
Cups of coffee or coffee from different countries. Yeah.
Both.
The coffees I couldn't even begin to count. Coffees from different countries. Wow. just countries alone, I can say I've had coffees from about 20 to 25 different countries. And some of those countries I've had, I've tasted 100 farms out of Brazil at least. It's it's a lot.
What is coffee to you?
It's pretty much my everyday life. I'm at my shop 6 to 7 days out of the week. Occasionally I'll take a day off. But even if I take the day off, I'm at home working on the computer, making sure things are looking right for coffee, making sure we're ordering what we need. It is literally everyday life.
So you are running this business. So what do you learn about coffee all these years?
Nobody likes the same coffee.
Okay.
As much as we try to make a cup that everybody's going to like, we have coffees that a lot of people like, and we have other coffees that are either you love it or you hate it. For instance, we have a beautiful one from Sumatra right now that is very potent, lots of flavors happening. I personally think it's very fantastic. And I've had other customers come in and they taste it. And they're just like, oh, this is horrible. No, I need something different. The biggest thing I can say about coffee is it's find one that you like and continue to enjoy it as much as possible.
So tell me something that you can't forget a customer said to you about your coffee.
I don't know that it would be something that they said more as that initial smile when they have that first sip. That's still my favorite part of the day when I make a cup of coffee and I hand it to somebody and they just go, and they get that uncontrollable smile. They just warm up and light up as it happens. The taste and the aroma and the feeling. I think that for me is the best compliment that a customer can ever give is that just loving smile of something they can't deny is good.
So anything which we do makes us feel bored, right? But what exactly makes you to drink a lot of coffees all the time and still feel the same effect?
I've been lucky throughout my life. Caffeine doesn't affect me quite the same as it does a lot of people. I'll have a shot of espresso and go right to sleep, and I have for many years. So I don't mind continuing to drink a little bit of coffee all day long. Whereas my wife, if she has any coffee past about lunchtime, she'll be awake all night. She'll be poking me in the arm as we're laying in bed, going, "Hey, I have an idea for the coffee," and I'm going, I have to be there in 2 hours. Leave me alone. Let me sleep. The caffeine content doesn't always work for everybody. I know a lot of people that will have a shot of espresso after, to help aid in digestion, and I have no problem with that. My wife cannot do that. So I'm lucky I can drink coffee all day, but not everybody can.
It shows that you love coffee a lot. That is why the reason you are giving the best coffee to everybody and being the reason for their positive expression.
I think so. I think if you care enough about what you're doing, it's going to show with the people that are getting that product from you, whether it's making a car or making a cup of coffee or house. If you truly love what you're doing and you put your heart into it, people are going to appreciate that.
So it is very good. You are creating something which is very important. Consuming something which makes a human to do his work properly. And coffee is just not just a coffee, just drinking in just for the discussion or just for something. It actually helps them to do the work that they do every day.
Absolutely. And it does have other health benefits as well. New studies have shown that a cup of coffee a day will help offset Alzheimer's and dementia. And it also has a large amount of antioxidants in it. Americans, unbeknownst to them, get about 10 times their antioxidants from coffee as they do from any other source day to day, because it is highly full of antioxidants and good qualities as well. It's just drinking coffee when it's been over roasted and actually burnt. That creates charcoal, and carbon isn't good for us to intake like that. That's not healthy. But if you have a coffee that's been well roasted and well cared for and well cured, then you can have a lot of health benefits from it.
Tell me the top person who drink coffee in your shop.
Me,
Other than you.
I honestly drink more than anybody, but I'm constantly taste testing to make sure that the coffee that I just roasted yesterday tastes right, and the coffee I roasted 3 days ago tastes right. I'm always tasting a little bit more and a little bit more to make sure everything is correct. And I have a cup or two to enjoy myself anyways throughout the day.
So tell me about the people who are in the top level in the world and talks about coffee. I'm sure you will be researching about them and about what kind of coffee they drink and how that is made.
So I find the people that can afford to buy whatever they want tend to get a good quality shot of espresso. I've been lucky enough to have my coffee served to some of the wealthiest people on the planet, and it got very good response. One of the responses from people I can't name because of non-disclosure agreements, but was, "This is the best coffee I've had in North America, period." Which I took as a extremely high compliment. But at the same time, because we can't always disclose some of the events that we do because people don't want their name out being associated with X, Y, and Z, or they don't want people knowing their travel plans, I can't always say this.
Okay, Kenny, I came to your shop and I ordered a coffee. How much time you take to prepare it?
Generally about a minute and a half.
Okay. You'll keep everything ready and just take 1.5 minutes.
Yes, we have everything ready within about 3 steps of the barista. The espresso machine is right next to the counter. The refrigerator with the milk is directly across the way. We keep our syrups right underneath. Some people keep the milk right underneath. We keep the milk directly behind us and just turn and grab what milk we need, fill the pitcher, start steaming the milk, get the espresso going, add any syrups or flavors that somebody might want. If they want some cardamom or if they want some lavender, whatever it is they feel like they want to add to their coffee, we get that in there and then we just pour it right in and go. If it's a very complicated drink, it might take 2 to 3 minutes, but that's for something like a pour over coffee where you're actually grinding a specific coffee for somebody to have just 1 cup, and you wet the filter and you grind your coffee, you weigh it out, you put it in there, you pour the hot water through, and it takes about 2.5 minutes for that just to actually filter through. So that probably takes the longest. But a standard cup of coffee or an espresso type drink like a latte, minute and a half.
So any coffee that you created for your own and that you never people cannot find anywhere any other coffee shops?
We have one currently that we call Snow Leopard. We have a lot of coffees named after cats.
Okay.
But the Snow Leopard is a blend of a light Brazilian roast, a medium Sumatra, a darker Colombia, and then a medium from Tanzania. It's a combination of those 4 all together, and it's just a very warm and bold cup of coffee with a heavy body. So when you take a sip, it still kind of lingers on your palate for a few minutes. You can still taste it from the heavy oils. And you can stand there in the winter and hold a hot cup of coffee and stay warm. Just take a sip. And I really enjoy it. But that's, again, one of those coffees that people either really love or they really dislike. The people that love it wish we had it all year. The people that or less.
So what are the prices of the coffees?
Coffee is the second most traded commodity on the planet. So the coffee prices are always changing for me. We try to keep a very consistent price point for my customers. But we have coffees anywhere from about $9.50 a pound up to, I believe, the most expensive one that we have right now is $22 a pound.
$22.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any other branches in any other states or countries?
No, we have just one location ourselves.
So you are the only owner for that.
Yes. My wife as well. She's at work herself right now.
Do you have plan to start in India?
Once we can branch out, I would love to get a shop in India as well as many countries throughout the world. But that's a few years down the road, I think. We're still small.
So I'm sure after this video, if you become big and if you start more branches in the world, don't forget me.
Oh, absolutely not.
So definitely, I have planned to come to Vancouver, which is in Canada, this year end or maybe if I come, definitely I'll come to your shop and have. I'm a coffee lover. I love cappuccino.
Absolutely. I make a nice, fluffy, light cappuccino.
I will drink coffee and I will interview you again live by sitting with you, not in your working time, but in your free time. I will take an interview and I'll tell audience that I came here and I'm drinking the coffee with whom I had talked a few days or a few months back.
Oh, we will absolutely do that.
So at last, do you have anything to say about your shop and about your business or anything that to the world who watches this video?
Wow. I'm biased, so I think my coffee is absolutely great. But we have a very strong following, and I believe that even though I'm biased, that the coffee is actually really good.
Okay, so at last, have you seen any videos of mine on YouTube?
I have now, yes.
So, what is your feeling?
I like it. I think it's great that you sit and chat with everybody and get everybody's opinion on what's going on. It helps connect the world to one another and realize that we're all just people. And I think that's for me the best part of the videos that you do.
So, with your coffee, what you want to say to all those people who did who participated in this show with your coffee in your style?
Try everything. I wish everybody would just get online and order my coffee, www.papertigercoffee.com, just in case. But really, if I go out of town, if I go traveling to see different places and people, I try every small roasting company I can find because they might be doing something different that I think is really good. And if I find something that's really good, I want to try to do it and even do it better. It's always striving to offer the best that we can as business owners and entrepreneurs and whatever it is we're doing. You always want to try to do and offer the best that you possibly can to your customers, because if you're treating them with that kind of respect, they're going to show that kind of respect back to you, and they're going to continue to come to you if you're doing a good job.
So you said your website, and you said you will give them the coffee if they order the coffee. But what about me? If I order the coffee from India, how can you give me?
Oh, we ship coffee all over the world.
Wow, that's great.
Yes,
How?
we
How?
usually through DHL if we're shipping overseas.
Okay. So what will be the price?
It depends country to country. The price from DHL is a little bit different.
Okay.
And it also depends on the amount of coffee that you're ordering.
Okay.
So I can't say off the top of my head. I'd have to look at the charts to be able to tell you for sure. But I'll make sure you get some coffee.
I will wait for that. And what is the minimum number and what is the maximum number of the coffees that you send for a customer?
The minimum we do is a 12-ounce bag, just a small little bag of coffee. and
Okay.
I've shipped over 300 pounds of coffee. Really a maximum.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. What is the number?
I've shipped as much as 300 pounds to a single person in an order, so I don't think there's really a maximum.
I mean the number of coffees.
Oh, I've got 10 different coffees on the shelf right now.
Okay. I mean the number of coffees that a single person ordered from any country. The maximum number.
Right. I don't think there is a maximum number. I've shipped over 300 pounds to a single person. I don't think a lot of people are going to buy that much, but if they do, we'll take care of it.
So how many countries you shifted? I mean you sent your coffees. How many countries?
Let's see. We've shipped to England, Germany. I have shipped to India, Tanzania, Australia, Mexico, Canada. Somewhere around 10 to 12 countries at least besides the US right now.
Okay. Okay. So is there anything that you want to say about coffee in one line?
I would just say try some more. You might not
Right.
like one cup that you get somewhere, but the next place you go may have a better cup. It's always worth trying a little bit more and a little something.
Yeah, and can you also tell me your once again can you tell me your shop name and at the same time your website?
It's Paper Tiger Coffee Roasters in Vancouver. www.papertigercoffee.
Sir, sorry for the sound here. I can't hear you. Can you repeat it again? The website and the name of your shop.
It's Paper Tiger Coffee Roasters in Vancouver, Washington, and the website is www.papertigercoffee.com.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving me your valuable time. You will be very busy, but still you spent some time and gave answers to my questions and told a lot of things about coffee.
Well, thank you for taking the time to have a chat with me. I'm always happy to discuss coffee.
I will meet you soon once I land on Vancouver.
I look forward to it.
Can you show your coffee?
I just have my mug at the moment.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Keep going, keep doing what you love, and you're inspiration to a lot of people in the world.
Likewise. Keep
Yeah.
everybody smiling, sir.
Because I know if a person loves something that he will give the best one to the customers. Like I know I do what I love, and I that's why the reason my videos are contains a lot of quality. So I can imagine the same. You are also a creator. I'm creating videos, and you are creating different coffees.
Yes, indeed. Making people smile on both sides.
Yes, sir. And you create something which is completely physical. They'll consume it, and me is mental. So that is you are very important than me, I think.
I think both sides are equally important, and I appreciate you doing what you do.
Thank you, sir. Can I put this video on my YouTube channel, on social media, on internet, on my podcast with your permission?
Absolutely. Yes, you can.
I'll put your website link in the description of this video. People who watches this video from anywhere on this planet, you can order different types of coffees. You can they can see right all the types of coffees and all the details in the website.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you very much, sir. Again,
Thank you. Have a great day.
thank you, sir. You too.